Team South Africa will once again be relying on the track and field athletes to bring home medals at the Games in France. And Team South Africa's track and field athletes have given the country some hope with recent performances, including one from Makani Simbini today at the Diamond League meeting in London, where he clocked a 9.86, just missing out on his 9.84, which is a SA record. They also did well at the 2016 Rio Games in Brazil. And to join us and to talk more about the prospects of the team is renowned coach and athletics team leader Jean Verster. Good evening, coach, and thank you very much for joining us here on Sports Live tonight.
Thank you so much. It's exciting times for our athletes and all our sports in the country, and we hope to perform well on the biggest stage in the world.
Yeah, we've seen some of them living in drips and drabs. When do you leave, and what are the plans when you get into France ahead of the start of the track and field program?
SASCOC has been very good this year. They got some good sponsors on board and some good funding. And our team is most of the team are actually leaving tomorrow. We'll be arriving in Paris on Monday and then flying straight to Montpellier in the south of France. And it's a camp that SASCOC has arranged for us that our athletics team will then prepare for Paris. I think in Montpellier it's a little bit warmer than Paris. And I think it'll be a good opportunity to acclimatize, get used to the hot and humid weather. And as I said, it's even a bit warmer than in Paris. So hopefully we'll acclimatize well. And then a decision we took this year, which, is not easy for everybody because you want to experience the Olympics. But we decided this year with a lot of experience with the likes of Ezekiel Sepeng and other athletes that have been to the Olympics and done well. We decided that each athlete will only fly up to Paris 3 days before their main event or their first round of their main event. So our athletes won't be sitting around in Paris at the Olympic Games in the village under very stressful circumstances. Normally, you have all the sports stars of the world there. And at the end of the day, you have 24-hour restaurants and the intensity at the village is just so much that our experience showed us that, to sit around there for a week or 10 days before you compete is definitely, just it burns you out. So this year we're staying in Montpellier in a nice training camp. We actually joined in the training camp with the teams of Australia and New Zealand. And then from there, our athletes 3 days, before each one's event, they'll fly up to Paris, go into the village, and then have a couple of days to acclimatize in Paris, get used to the conditions there, and then compete. So okay. I really believe we've done a good job this year in making sure that our athletes are fully prepared.
Yeah, sounds like a proper plan there. And one of those who's looking very good, a big medal hopeful, is Makani Simbini. Ran a 9.86 behind Noah Lyles today at the Diamond League in London. What have you made of his form this year? Is it picking at the right time for you?
Yeah, to be honest with you, I'm very happy with his form. He's actually been in Switzerland training for 6 weeks now in a training camp that he's just gone selectively to some races. He hasn't over-raced. He's so experienced. I think there's very few athletes actually in world athletics with the amount of experience that he has. And let's hold thumbs. He must go out and enjoy it. But if he does everything the way he's planned and the way he's actually progressed over many years, I definitely think he's in with a chance. But, we can't get ahead of ourselves. I think the first things are to get through the rounds. And I think sometimes people forget, the Olympics is not just it's not just one race, and you have to go through the rounds and make it to the final. And once you're in the final, you have to actually be able to run your personal best in the final, and that's the hard thing. But Makani has all the experience, and I'm 100% sure that he's able to do that. Last year, actually in Budapest, he was actually on his way to, in my opinion, definitely get a medal. And he false started the first time in his professional career in the semis, and that's it. It's the end of the game. But this year, with that experience, I think he's just got enough experience to take him right through into the final and hopefully onto the podium.
Yeah, the relay teams are also medal hopefuls there. How do you see them, or what are you expecting from the relay teams?
Yeah, I have to give credit to Ezekiel Sepeng in the ASA office, as well as Paul Goris, who's been with the
Yeah.
relay project for quite a while, since 2016, before we even started from a administration point of view. So we've really supported that. And this year, actually since last year, SASCOC has come to the party and they've assisted us. We've had quite a few training camps here in Potchefstroom. And the relays, the squad, everything looks really good. As you saw probably about a week ago, we had Benjamin Richardson. Benji ran also a
Yeah.
9.86. And some of our other athletes has run well. We've even seen an SA junior record 10.03. So the squad has been performing, and as well as in the 4x4 relay. So at the end of the day, relays are tricky. It's not low hanging fruit by any means. All the countries, as you saw tonight in London at the Diamond League, you saw how they ran there, and you saw how the British team on the last leg of the men's 4x1, the last runner just left, way too early. And things like that happen, especially in the 4x1. So we've got to hold thumbs. We've got to make sure, or believe in all our training that we did, the squad mentality, the vision, and hopefully our relay teams, both of them, can be successful and be on the podium.
Yeah, but unfortunately, the departure has been overshadowed by what's happened with Lukolo Adams being dropped from the 200-meter team, from the squad, rather having qualified for the 200 meters. From ASA's point of view, Coach Jean Verster, what is the reason for leaving Lukolo out and replacing him with Wade?
Man, I think it's been a really exaggerated, the whole thing. I think, to be 100% honest with you, and you heard it from statements, from SASCOC, ASA, and from our minister, is we had a cutoff date. And obviously, when somebody hasn't even run this year and qualified based on last year, you have to make sure that they're in good condition and fit. And, we were waiting, and our office, especially Ezekiel Sepeng, has been communicating, with Luxolo's team, including his manager as well, Piet van Zyl. And, we gave him as much chance as possible. Our federation really are there for the athletes and nobody else. And we really, had faith in him, and we really hoped that he would do it. We were hoping that he would compete at our national championships, which is one of the requirements from both us and SASCOC, which he didn't. We even put him in the team that went to the African champs in Cameroon. He withdrew, and he was still busy with his rehab process from a really bad hamstring injury, and he just wasn't in shape. And then eventually he communicated with Ezekiel that he would participate on the 6th and the 9th of July, which the cutoff date that we had from World Athletics and SASCOC to finalize our team was on the 8th. And we even went as far as, and I don't even know if we would have been successful, but we went as far as trying to convince SASCOC and the World Athletics to give us an extra day for him, because we had this promise that he'll run on the 6th and the 9th. And he ended up running the 6th, and as you all saw, it was number almost 2,000 in the world. He ran a 20.50, which not even juniors but youths run quicker. And we were hoping that we could extend the deadline for another race that he could compete on the 9th. But before we even could fight the fight to try and get that extension done, he withdrew out of the 9th. And when we spoke to the manager collectively as a group, with all the relevant stakeholders, the manager, Piet van Zyl, informed us that he withdrew from the race, quoting that he was tired and that he wasn't going to race. And so obviously we had to make a call on the 8th. We can't take somebody and leave somebody behind that's not informed. And I think everybody understands that. It's logic. And the interesting thing is we had collectively a meeting then, not only with his manager, but also with his coach and Harry Postmus. And then we all decided, including the coach, that it was the best way forward. Ezekiel really explained well that, he's got a long career still ahead of him. Next year it's Japan World Championships in Tokyo. And that let's rather focus on getting him completely healthy and getting him ready for next year. Okay. And yeah, at the end of the day, we spoke to the athlete himself as well, and he agreed as well. So on the 8th, we made the call with his agreement that we'll withdraw him. And then only after that, we went to the other athletes that qualified in the 200, and it ended up that Wade wanted to run the 200. So yeah, that's the process that was followed. But, you know, we want to stay positive even for his career and make sure that next year he's back in Tokyo and running the way he should be running.
Okay. Thanks for the explanation. Then fitness reasons hasn't done enough to prove his fitness there. Lukolo Adams running 21.50s, which is not good enough. And there are 5 athletes that have qualified for the 200 meters, but 5 needs to turn into 3 because only 3 can take part in the event. Thank you for speaking to us, Coach. All the best for the Olympic Games. Bon voyage.
Thank you so much. And we hope everybody's behind us. And believe me when I tell you, the athletes are going to give everything this year. So thank you so much for allowing us to speak to you tonight.
Okay, thanks, Coach. Start working on that French. You might be there for a long time in Paris. Coach Jean Verster, the leading team, South Africa's track and field team. Lots of medal hopefuls also, including some dark horses. There is a Prudence Sikhodiso, who's already won in the Diamond League in the 800 meters this season. Looking very good for the Olympics, especially with Ating Mo absent from these Olympic Games. And maybe she could push there for a medal or a place in the final at least. Karl Blichno was on the show here talking about what he's been working on as far as the shot put is concerned, and he's also another one that could surprise many at the Paris Olympic Games, and we wish Team South Africa all the best of luck.